What is happening, people? More transfer news to talk about today. It's all going off at the moment with Liverpool. Um, Honestly, I am so excited. First and foremost, can we just talk about what the hell is going on? How is it that after so much years of Liverpool not signing no one, you know, constantly being cheap in the market, constantly looking for bargains and poor players, that we are now being linked to the likes of Alvarez, Frimpong, Kurzek, Hoylson? What is going on? Honestly, it seems that out of nowhere, Liverpool have actually cleaned up their act. We've decided that as a club, we're now going to start spending money and being ambitious, and that is the mentality that we need to have. We are Liverpool. We are the biggest and most successful club in England. We should be acting like it. In the transfer market, we should be going out for the likes of the huge players. I'm not going to name them now off the top of my head, but we shouldn't be moving like teams like acting like Bournemouth or acting like Fulham in the transfer market. We cannot be acting like that if we are the biggest club in England. We have to be going for the biggest and best talent out there. No debate. We're Liverpool Football Club. We get the best. We are the best, if you know what I mean. Now, as for the transfer rumours that are going around, news broke out over the last couple of days, that Liverpool are exploring the idea of signing Julian Alvarez from Atletico Madrid in a identical swap deal, with Darwin Nunez going the other way, meaning that Nunez could be sent to Atletico Madrid and Julian Alvarez could be coming to Liverpool. A swap deal. I find that very interesting. I find that very interesting. It's something that I definitely entertain. I would definitely be up for it. But Julian Alvarez, I mean, this is a player that at Manchester City was very good. I think Julian Alvarez at Manchester City was very good. Obviously Pep Guardiola never really gave him that game time. It was all with Haaland being there, being the goal scorer. It's always going to be hard for someone else to get in the team over him. But I thought Julian Alvarez was very good for Manchester City. Didn't get enough game time. When he played, I actually thought that City looked better. They played better football with Alvarez in the team, opposed to when Haaland played. For me, a very underrated player. A very neat, clean footballer. I definitely would entertain the idea of this signing 100%. I think he is an absolute baller. Now, I could also see why certain fans would be like, oh, Alvarez is not a 30 goal a season striker. And that is fair. That is very fair. It's a very fair point. But look, Liverpool over the last couple of years, don't really play with an out and out goal scoring striker. You look at Bobby, you look at Nunez. We don't usually play with an out and out striker that's a pure goal scorer. Gakpo, Jota, Nunez, Firmino, like I said. We don't usually play with goal scorers. Our attack is usually, our goals mainly come from the wing, usually. Or when we had Firmino, Mane and Salah, all of them interchanged, they all equally shared the goals. Liverpool have never really been a team that's play with an out and out striker. It's just not our way. I think the managers that we've had in Jurgen and Slot, it's not really their style of play that they require an out and out striker. I think they'd rather the goals be shared equally, and it's more of a team dynamic. With our managers, with our playing style, we prefer our attack to be shared equally, the goals to be shared equally in the attack. Whereas, you look at a City, you look at a Chelsea and Arsenal, those teams are or will require an out and out striker because of the way they play football. So for Liverpool, an out and out striker is not something we've ever played with. Now, of course, that can change. I can see a lot of Liverpool fans saying he's not an out and out striker. I can see a lot of Liverpool fans saying, no, we need someone who is going to be an out and out pure goal scorer. We need someone who's going to put the chances that Nunez, Diaz all miss on a regular basis. And I hear it, but I just think that we don't need to buy an out and out striker really. Now that I think of it, the way we play, I think keep Salah on the wing, Diaz, Nunez, Alvarez. And look, Alvarez is a clinical forward. He's not someone who's going to miss a bag of chances. He will put goals away, but he just won't be a 30-goal-a-season striker. Interesting. Now look, obviously, if this deal happens, this would be an absolute steal. Honestly, an absolute steal. Selling Darwin Nunez to Atletico Madrid and us taking Julian Alvarez off them, we would absolutely scam Atletico Madrid. That would be a huge scam. We would definitely get the better part of that deal. They would definitely get the worst part of that deal. As we know, Nunez is not a good player. But look, if the option is there to get Nunez out of the club and to bring in someone who's more clinical, 100% take it. 100% take it. We'd absolutely scam Atletico Madrid. Like I said, they'd be pulling their hair out within 2 weeks when they'd be starting Darwin and he's missing back one-on-one chances, open goals, constantly offside. I'm telling you, they are going to be pulling their hair out. And also, I think Darwin Nunez is a Diego Simeone type player. When you look at the way his attitude is, the way he conducts himself, he's got that Atletico Madrid type attitude. The way they are as a club, the way their fans are, the way their manager is. I think he fit Atletico Madrid perfectly, honestly. I think it's a win-win for both teams, really. Send Darwin over there and we get Alvarez. Now, this is something that I really want to see. I myself am a huge admirer of Julian Alvarez. Like I said, wasn't really given a fair chance at City, but I think at Liverpool, under Slot, in the system that we play, he could definitely benefit. I think a player like Julian Alvarez is never going to benefit in a team like a Pep Guardiola side, where it's just pure possession after possession after possession, keeping the ball constantly. Julian Alvarez isn't a player that is going to thrive in a possession-based system, in my opinion. I don't think he's that type of player. I think in a Jurgen, in a Klopp type team, or in a Slot type team, a team that are more attack-minded, where it's not about keeping possession, it's not about being possession-based, it's about being relentless, attacking, and just being at the other team's throat all game. I think he would benefit in a team like we have. He would benefit under a manager like a Slot or Klopp, more so than he would benefit off a manager like a Pep. I think the way he is as a player, he is a good fit for Liverpool. Playing style wise, he would fit us like a glove. Maybe he didn't fit City because of the playing style that they have. I'm not too sure, but that is my opinion. I think he would definitely benefit in a team that is a much more attack-minded team. Now, albeit at Atletico Madrid, he's playing in a defensive team, but he is still putting up numbers for them. He's still putting up decent, decent performances. So it's an interesting point, a very, very interesting point. Julian Alvarez to Liverpool. For me, it's clear. I personally, I would love this. I know a lot of other Liverpool fans are going to be like, no, we wouldn't take Julian Alvarez. No, he's not a 30-goal-a-season striker. No, he's not good enough. No, he's not a he's not a great player. He's not what we need. We need better. Now, I hear all of these points. I do. But look, I think the way our owners operate, we're never going to go for players like the huge players like Rodrigo's, hypothetically the Vinicius Juniors and Mbappe's. We're never going to go for players like that. Players that are going to cost a lot of money and are considered world class. Because I don't think two of them players are world class, to be fair, but considered world class. We never usually go for players like that. It's not really the Liverpool model, unfortunately. I think we like to buy players and turn them into superstars, like we did with Salah, like we did with Mane, like we've done with a lot of other players. Our way is buying low-level players, turning them into superstars. And I think Julian Alvarez would be someone that FSG would look at. He's not considered to be the greatest player or world class, but he's a player that won't be too expensive. He's a player that can definitely learn under Slot, like I've said, and he's a player who at the moment I wouldn't say is world class, but could be turned world class in our system. Definitely potential for Julian Alvarez to be a good top player in the Liverpool system. How we would line up with Alvarez in the team, hypothetically, I think it's night and day. You would play Salah has to be off the right wing. I would keep Kaiser as Salah's backup, So we'd have 2 right wingers in Salah and Chiesa. Off the left, I would probably go Gakpo personally. I think until Luis Diaz fixes up on his finishing, I think he needs to hold bench. So I would go Gakpo for left. I know it's not his natural position. I know he's better as a striker, but I would play him off the left because who I'm playing as a striker would make more sense. And I would keep Diaz as the second left winger, so we'd have Diaz and Gakpo. Up top, interestingly, I would play Alvarez. So my front three would be Salah, Alvarez, Gakpo. That would be my front three. I think that for me, is our most clinical front three. Would be our most clinical front three. As for our second striker, I genuinely am not sure. Would you keep Jota as a backup to come on for to play if someone Alvarez gets injured, or if he needs to play in 10 minutes or something a game? So I'm not sure. Would people want to keep Jota? Personally, I'd keep him as a backup because the amount of stuff we have to do this summer, I don't see FSG shopping for a second backup striker. So I think best case would be to keep Jota. And look, Jota is very inconsistent, and he is better as a bench player. He could definitely have more of an impact coming off of the bench, definitely more so than a Nunez would have. I think Darwin Nunez, when he comes off the bench, hardly does anything. Other than 2 performances that I can name, but he's been good. He has done absolutely nothing coming off the bench. So I would choose keep Jota as our second striker. So my front three would be Alvarez, Salah and Gakpo. And I think that would be a good front three. And I think, obviously, attack-wise, we would be pretty stacked because we'd have backups as well if the players got injured. So it's an interesting point of view. A very interesting saga. It's funny because I would never have thought that we would be looking at Julian Alvarez. I thought it would be the links I'm seeing were Wilson, some strikers from the Bundesliga. Alvarez isn't someone that I thought we would be looking at or we'd be looking to try and get, but it looks like the interest in Liverpool is genuine. Like I said, it'd be an absolute steal. It's an absolute steal. Send Atletico Madrid Darwin Nunez and bring in Julian Alvarez. I think he'd be the best of both worlds. I think both players will benefit off this. I think Alvarez coming to Liverpool in a much more attacking style team than Atletico Madrid will benefit and improve, as it would fit him more as a player. And I think Darwin Nunez, like I said, he's an Atletico Madrid type player. He'd fit them like a glove. And I think he'd probably benefit more so in a team like that, in a team that's got a bit more fire in him, a bit more arrogance, a bit more shithousery. I think Darwin Nunez would definitely benefit more for Atletico Madrid than he would for Liverpool. So, like I said, I think both players will benefit from this. I think Alvarez, if he comes, would improve Liverpool and improve as a player. I think Nunez, if he goes, Atletico Madrid would improve him as a player, and he would fit them a lot more better than he does us. So, it's very interesting, a very interesting saga. Personally, for me, I'm taking it every day of the week. It's the same about Darwin Nunez. It's a it's a big shame. When he did sign, it was an exciting signing. We just lost Mane. We all thought what he could do. We saw him at Benfica. He looked good. We all thought this could be something special. This could be a making of a superstar. Fortunately, hasn't worked out like that. The guy's proven to be not good enough. It's unfortunate, but I'm taking this deal 100%. Sending Nunez off to Atletico Madrid and bringing Alvarez in. Something that I think would benefit both teams, like I've said. It is the same about Nunez. I think we all wanted him to do well, but ultimately, not good enough to play for us. Has to be moved on. Like I said, no sentimentality. We have to be ruthless in the market. So, it's an interesting saga. For me, I'm taking this deal. I'm snapping it up every day of the week. For me, it's a no-brainer. But Liverpool fans, a lot of other Liverpool fans will disagree. They'll say, we need better, we need an out-and-out striker, we need someone who's going to get us 30 plus goals. And I hear all the point of views, and I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. So let me know in the comments, guys. Julian Alvarez to Liverpool, Darwin Nunez to Atletico Madrid in a swap deal. Would we take it? Would we not? Do we think Alvarez is good enough? Let me know in the comments. Liverpool profit out.